There's always a surprise every major. There's always a surprise.
The vibes of complexity, the vibes are completely off.
It's that time again. We're here.
Pickem videos, everyone loves them.
I have to pretend that I know about stats.
Everyone loves to watch them. Everyone loves to be wrong on them, but not me. That's why I'm doing this purely vibe-based.
First of all, we've just got a few metrics. And one metric is the best coach. There's no stat for it, but it's Saw, obviously. So Heroic are going 3-0.
A lot of people would put Heroic here. I'm putting them into advance. It's just too obvious.
Next, we go best IGL. Actually, it's Crizzen. This is based on some online tournaments and some interviews, because that's how best IGL works. Or you just vote for your friend. That's what people do in the award show.
For the teams, that will go 3-0. I think one of them is going to be in everyone's pickems, and I'm gonna follow that. That's going to be Tyloo. The vibes are immaculate. G this year won over everyone's hearts. Like, I don't even need to go even further than that. Results also back it up. They won a tournament in Asia just most recently, and the only team that they can lose to is Lin Vision. So, and it is possible that they face them. They've been losing to them, but like, if they avoid that matchup, like, they're not losing here. They're not losing.
I'm not going to do the hipster route of Tyloo. I'm not going to do the other hipster route of like a bet boom or something, like just belief in land animals or whatever. No, I'm going to go bait, because I think NPL, he talks a big game in interviews, but he's also got a 1.17 rating this year. And that's just something I can get behind. Nerves are an issue here. So I think it's going to be either they go 3-0 or they don't make it.
Even though they're not half as good of a team as Heroic, they can shit the bed quite heavily sometimes. But I think if they're going to advance, they're going to be a team that advances 3-0. Because if it goes to the 3-2 matches, I don't think they have the capacity to, go through very tight games. 0-3, Fluxo, what to say about that? I don't even have to say anything about that. I just leave it there. No comments needed.
Chinkus Warriors, everyone's going to overthink this one. Everyone's going to think there's always a surprise every major. There's always a surprise, and Cool Ast is a cool AWPer. Whatever, okay? Controllers was an AWPer 2 months ago, and he isn't anymore. They're a team that never make it to LANs because they're not good. So they're going to be 0-3.
A lot of people would put Chingus Warriors in the 0-3, but I can't do that, because I went to Mongolia and I saw them play, and I saw a Cool Ast, literally Mongolian simple. He is the Mongolian simple, and that gives him enough vibes that maybe even I see them advancing in a crazy storyline. It's ridiculous, but it's possible. The other 0-3, unfortunately, would be another Brazilian team. The attention that's going to get me on the socials, especially if they go 3-0 or something.
Metizport are it's an absolute joke that Metizport are here in Game Legion aren't. It's an absolute joke. It's genuinely got me quite upset. It leaves this narrative of, oh, NIP should have just had a Swedish team the whole time. What have Metizport done this year other than win a few online games in the MRQ? Someone tell me. There'll be lots of comments from angry Swedes telling me exactly what they've done. I don't remember any of it. I just remember them winning a few online games, and I think they're going to go 0-3.
I think one that I have to support is Metizport. First of all, just look at that logo. They're bringing back the Sweden on top. Not really on top, but they're at the major, which is pretty good for just a Swedish team. So NIP can't do that. So I have to support them. Also, just again, look at how cool this logo is. I think it's one of the best logos we have right now.
I think Dumao and Lato are as good a duo as you get in the stage. I really do, and I think they let themselves down at Dallas and at Bucharest and in certain interviews. But I also think that they've been here before. It's their 4th or 5th major, I think. They've got the experience, and a lot of these other teams do not have such experience. So I think Legacy have to make it through. They just have to.
People are picking them to go out 0-3. They didn't even qualify, right? They came in as a replacement. But I think that kind of an underdog story that they have, they shouldn't even be here. The animosity that's going on. I think all of this is going to bring them together, and honestly, I don't think they're that bad of a team. They have some decent wins. I think they might just be one of the upsets, one of the teams that's going to ruin everyone's pickems. I think Legacy to advance.
Even without Horzerk, I think Complexity have to make it, because I think Grim has been too good this year not to. Grim has been incredible this year. Every single stat you look at, it's Donk, Manasi, and Zio in the top right of a scatter plot. But this year, Grim's there as well. And if he can't make it through stage 1, then there's some uncomfortable conversations. He has to make it.
The vibes of complexity, if Halzerk is not there, and by everything we know, Halzerk is not there, the vibes are completely off. They don't have the vibe capacity to advance to the next stage, and I think it's going to be an early exit, actually, for complexity. Like a 2-3, they're going to be still decent, but it's a key factor that's missing in the vibes. Australia has the vibes. Dexter, yes, he was Australian, but he wasn't the vibe-based Australian. So, a few roster changes in. I think they're back on the right track. I think they advance to the next stage.
We're going to have to go back to one of the earlier metrics. I think along with Krizen and Linus and NPL, I think the other grading leader here is obviously JT. But then it's Boomich. And I think Magnajez is continuing to impress me as well. I think he has to make it. Namiga are going to go under a lot of people's radars because they did choke the RMR. At least that's how people remember it. People remember they won the LAN in Serbia, the RAS, and then they went to the RMR and they were shit, right? But they have Zwei, who is maybe the best 17-year-old on the planet, now that Donk isn't 17 anymore. They get a chance on LAN to be a better version of themselves. And I think they've got the firepower. I think they've got good enough players.
Lin Vision, NRG, definitely not. So for me, it has to be OG. I think they have this like young squad of just lads playing Counter-Strike. Essentially what we all aspire to be, just a group of young dudes going to America, fragging some noobs, and I believe advancing to the next stage.
I can see reasons to pick lots of these teams. I also think Vinny is a good EM leader, underrated EM leader. I'm just going to have to go with it with the ultimate metric, which is not vibes, it's stats. And because they get to play lots of local competition, Tyloo have 3 players above a 1.15 rating this year. And how can I argue with that? There you go. Lock it in. Sort of stats-based.
So who do you think is winning? Is it vibes or is it stats? Let us know in the comments and let us know who you picked to go 03.